We got to get right into it today because there's a lot to talk about. I mean, it is Friday, which means it's New Music Friday, but it's not any ordinary New Music Friday. It is like Taylor Swift Day here on ET Live at home because Taylor has dropped a surprise album. This is her 8th studio album, Folklore, and it is everything. This 17-song alternative album dropped Thursday night, and not only did we get a new album, but we also got a music video for the track Cardigan. Take a listen.
But I knew you dancing in your Levi's, drunk under a street light.
What is your initial reaction with this new music from Taylor?
My reaction is OMT. I'm so in love with this album, and I truly did not think I would be at first because she announced that it was going to be alternative and very poetry, no pun intended, folklore driven, and I'm so used to her big Max Martin sounding songs. But I gotta tell you, this album has completely enraptured me. I have been listening to it for the last 6 hours on repeat, just diving into the lyrics. Let's get right into it. I want to dissect every single part of this.
Oh, we will. And I feel like what's so impressive about this album in particular is, I mean, we've heard pop from Taylor, we've heard country from Taylor. Now we have alternative from her. But what's equally as impressive with this album is that it was entirely written and recorded during this downtime during the coronavirus pandemic. I mean, I couldn't even finish a 6-week workout course at home, let alone, I mean, this woman put together a whole damn album plus a music video. In fact, the music video for Cardigan that we saw, Taylor actually revealed that that was shot during this pandemic, but it was overseen by a medical inspector, and everyone on set wore masks, and, they made sure they were socially distant from each other. In fact, Taylor was so safe during this, shooting of this music video that she did her own hair, her own makeup, and her own styling. I mean, literally, what can't she do?
A true Renaissance woman, and I just have to say, right? I want to allude to her Instagram post, how she, kind of explained everything that was going on with this new album and this new song that was dropping. She took a moment to really, I'm sorry, it wasn't her Instagram post, it was a fan question that she answered on YouTube. She said, I wear masks, and I think everyone should too. And she really kind of sets the bar high and really leads by example. So I appreciate someone with her platform really taking the opportunity to encourage safety during this insane time.
I feel like anytime we get new Taylor, it equals new theories, and we have a handful of them that you and I are going to go through, beginning with the fact that fans are convinced that Taylor's boyfriend, Joe Alwyn, is actually a co-writer on this album. They believe that he co-wrote 2 songs in particular, and this all started when Taylor announced that on Thursday morning that she would be dropping a surprise album. Well, in her caption, she thanked her fellow songwriters, including someone named William Bowery. The thing though here is William Bowery was the only person who was not tagged. My whole theory is because William Bowery is not a real person with a real Instagram account, and I am jumping on board with the theory that, in fact, it is Joe Alwyn. What are your initial thoughts with this? Because we have the receipts.
I'm going to run with it too, just because A, I think it's really fun. B, I would love to know that not only are they partners in romantic crime, they also are creating together. And C, you guys, we know that she's done this before. When she was dating Calvin Harris, she didn't want everybody to make a whole mess of the fact that she and him had collaborated on the song with Rihanna, This Is What You Came For. And she wrote under the pseudonym, I believe it was Nils Sojaberg. So we know that Taylor gets creative and crafty when it comes to, maybe protecting something that she wants to keep a little private, but she also wants to, at the end of the day, maybe still work with her man. I love this theory. I'm running with it.
And I feel like Joe isn't the type of boyfriend to, like, he'd want to respect that this is her art, and he wouldn't want to, not that he would take away from it, but he doesn't want to shine light and make that a headline. Oh, Joe Alwyn, co-writes on Taylor Swift's album. I feel like, and you know that she loves the mystery of all of this, so I feel like she's in for it. But not only is William Bowery not a tag on social media, some detective fans online, they actually discovered that there's no registered songwriter or producer named William Bowery. And the receipts keep going, you guys. It is like CBS. Another key tidbit in all of this, according to some fans and then also paparazzi pictures, Taylor and Joe were spotted outside the Bowery Hotel in 2016, which was towards the start of their romance. So, I mean, could this be a nod to this love in this chapter of her life? I think so.
And I'm going to take it one more step further. Joe's grandfather is named William.
Oh,
so if you take that piece of evidence combined with the whole Bowery Hotel of it all, I don't know, everything seems to be pointing that this could absolutely be a possibility.
You know, it's so interesting though. Some fans are, you know, they have this theory that Folklore is actually a breakup album between Joe and Taylor, and I totally disagree with that. You know,
me too.
She said in a YouTube chat comment, she said that most of, you know, the songs on Folklore are written from fictional character perspectives. Now, do I feel like some, you know, storylines may have been drawn from, you know, her own personal experiences? Yes, but in like a larger way, nothing that's like completely hitting the nail on the head with like her relationship with Joe. So I am going to shut that theory down in my personal opinion.
Oh, me too. Her relationship with Joe is the one that I have been behind the most of all of her very famous romances, because it's the first one that hasn't been a public spectacle. And I think when you can take that part of your life and own it and have the control over it, you're able to lead a normal romance the way that she deserves to, despite her global platform. I believe that this romance is still very much on and poppin'.
So very well said. In other words, she's also a lyrical genius, which brings us to this next part of decoding some of the lyrics. Now, I will say, while Taylor said in that YouTube comment that I just mentioned that many of the songs on Folklore are written from fictional characters' perspectives, she did go on to say that, you know, picking up her pen and writing this album was a way of escaping into fantasy, history, and memory. Is it memory of past relationships? Because she did say as well, that she put a lot of Easter eggs in the lyrics. So are these Easter eggs realistic? Are they drawn from past relationships? And this is where my mind is completely spinning. Deidre, the song Invisible String.
You especially, yes.
My world's colliding right here. The song Invisible String. Is it a reference to Taylor's past relationship with Joe Jonas? Hear me out.
I think so.
The lyrics. Cold was the steel of my axe to grind for the boys who broke my heart, referring to their old relationship, I would assume. Now I send their babies presents. Is that a nod to Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, who are expecting their first child together? I mean, reminder, this was many years ago that Taylor and Joe dated, and it was very, you know, it was in the public eye, but as we've seen as the years have unfolded, there's no bad blood between the two, and that is not, I mean, yes, that is a Taylor Swift
intended.
But yeah, exactly, no pun intended. You know, Sophie Turner, do you remember in 2019 when both Sophie and Taylor Swift were on the Graham Norton show? Like, I feel like they are all matured now and they've evolved, and really this is just, I don't know, to me it seems like a nod to them.
They're both successful. They're both in different relationships. And, you know, Taylor, you can say whatever you want about her, but she's a class act. And I know in my heart of hearts, this is something that she would do. They're expecting a baby together. She's a generous, giving person. How many people have we seen post on social media? Oh my God, I can't believe Taylor just sent me this. I can't believe she just gave me this.
Yeah.
I believe that this is a for sure Easter egg, and I think she supports Joe and Sophie. That makes my heart happy.
So very well said. So, all right, that is Easter egg number 1 decoded. Let's move on. Let's move on to Mad Woman. The big question here, Deidre, is could these lyrics be a reference to the battle over Taylor's album Masters? Now, here's one of the lyrics. What did you think I'd say to that? Does a scorpion sting when fighting back? They strike to kill, and you know I will, you know I will. She later goes on to sing, what do you sing on your drive home? Do you see my face in the neighbor's lawn? Does she smile or does she mouth F you forever? And for once, Taylor Swift didn't say F you. She actually said the explicit word, the 4-letter word, which I feel like has everyone talking too, because we don't ever really hear Taylor swear.
No, because of course she's a classy lady. But if we know anything about the battle with her getting the rights to her masters and her catalog, it really enraged her. And if there was ever a time to say the F word, I feel like that would be an appropriate topic to throw it out there. But her art is the best way to decode actually how she's feeling. And this song, I think, is 100% a representation of that.
The next lyrics that we have to decipher through are the song Betty. So the question here is, did Taylor Swift just reveal the name of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' third baby? So in the song Betty, there are two different lyrics. This first one here, you heard the rumors from Inez. You can't believe a word she says. Okay, keep in mind Inez. Next lyric, we have, she said, James, get in, let's drive. Well, Inez and James are both the names of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' two daughters. Here's the thing. Blake and Ryan have a third daughter. We don't know the name of this third child yet. So now fans are speculating that it's Betty. What do you think?
God, this one's a little tougher for me. I do know that obviously Taylor has a close relationship with both Blake and Ryan, and cute little James actually made a cameo previously on Taylor's song Gorgeous. So we know that there's been like creative conspiring of the minds with them in the past. I don't know if this is how Blake Lively would necessarily want to reveal her daughter's name. That's the only part that I kind of am like scratching my head about. I don't know. Betty is a nickname for Elizabeth, so I could very much see, because, you know, Blake seems to really like those very beautiful, classic, traditional names. So I could see her naming her third child a name like Elizabeth, but really this one's more of a question mark for me.
Taylor is such a class act, and that's not her news to share, you know what I mean? Unless she was given some big blessing from the Reynolds family, but I just feel like this isn't it. So I don't know who Betty is. We're gonna need the Swifties' help on this one. Except most of them think that it is their child's name, but I don't know. I don't think so. We could speak on Taylor all day in this new album because it really is fantastic and it is just a masterpiece.
That is the damn truth. We love you, Taylor Swift. What a blessing during quarantine to get this.
Saved 2020, like I said.